WWE have recently finished one of their best weekends to date in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The crowd was enamored with every single thing that was happening in the ring. The segments felt far more important. The crowd was completely into every single action that was being performed by those ladies and gentlemen performing that night. With that being said, I think this might be my favorite premium live event aside from WrestleMania Night 1 of this year so far. Now, if you wanted to rank the WWE premium live events in order from best to worst, go ahead and do it in the comments. Let me know. I think in second place, I'd have to put the Elimination Chamber because WrestleMania Night 1 and Backlash are tied right now for not only quality, but crowding. Everything that crowd was doing, man, was wow. And I could only imagine how crazy it's going to get when we go to Money in the Bank. That crowd is going to be probably the best crowd of the year, with Puerto Rico being right behind them. Spoilers ahead, so if you guys have not seen the event, click off now. You're still here, okay. So the first match we had was Bianca Belair and Io Sky. And although it looked like Bianca Belair was going to get cheered, the match was going on and somehow Bianca Belair was getting booed. That woman has achieved Super Cena status. That is a W. And as of right now, she is the longest reigning women's champion of the modern era, which is fantastic because now they can take the title off of her, give us a new champion, new challengers, and have it be refreshed. I didn't have any problems with Bianca being champion, although the only really great matches that I can remember from her run were Io Sky, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. If there's any other crazy matches that she had that were like good, let me know in the comments. And of course that ladder match with Bayley, how could I forget? But non-title defense matches, she's actually had a couple good ones. Specifically with Io Sky once before, with Dakota Kai. Her and Doudrop had a couple pretty decent matches too. I'd imagine now that she's on SmackDown, we'll see her go up against Charlotte Flair as well in the future. And with that being said, man, as the crowd was going on, Io Sky was getting cheered like crazy, which was fantastic. Now we move on to the second match of Backlash. Seth Rollins and Omos, which in my opinion was the sleeper of the night. I did not think that match was going to be great. But then again, I always constantly overlook how fantastic Seth Rollins is, and now that man could wrestle a potato and it'd be a 5-star classic. I would argue that Omos facing Brock Lesnar got him a little more better in the ring to get to the point where he was able to fight Seth Rollins on equal playing field. That standing, I think he did a backdrop on Seth Rollins when he was literally on one knee, which was insane. Seth Rollins hitting that curb stop from the top rope for the 1-2-3. After his third curb stomp finally connected with what I said, which was the over-the-top rope, it was a really great way to defeat Omos, but also making him look strong in defeat, which is fantastic. Which brings me to my next point. The way that they ordered these matches, I personally would not have done it. But before we get to that, let's continue with the matches. SmackDown Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley and the hometown hero Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega came out with these amazing Puerto Rico flag wing things, which I'll put up on the screen if I find them. It was such an amazing tribute to the island of Puerto Rico, and she's originally from Queens, New York, but she is Puerto Rican 100%, and it was a decent match for what it was, man. Ultimately, we all knew Rhea Ripley would win. Rhea Ripley, one other thing people may have not noticed was that on the back of her tights, she had a dum-dum on the back of her tights, which was pretty fantastic. And her gear was awesome too. Great gear from both women. And of course, we had the United States Championship match where we had Austin Theory defeating Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley, with ultimately Austin Theory doing what he does, sliding in as Bobby Lashley was about to win the match, and he throws Bobby out the ring, pins Bronson Reed for the 1-2-3, and it makes Lashley look strong because he wasn't pinned, goes into SmackDown looking good. Same thing with Theory. Theory is still US champion, which is fantastic. I hope we get something with him and LA Knight or Grayson Waller, or hell, all three of them. The next match we had was the San Juan Street Fight. My God. Bunny delivered like 3 Michinoku drivers, even though they called one of them the Falcon Arrow. Whatever Cole said, I'll go with that. He delivered, let's say, 2 Falcon Arrows, 2 Michinoku drivers and 1 Falcon Arrow. Let's just leave it at that. At one point, Damian Priest threw this man through tables. Damian Priest was getting his leg destroyed, which was really good acting on his behalf. Bad Bunny hit a Canadian destroyer He paid homage to another Puerto Rican legend, AJ Lee, in hitting the sliced bread. Almost fatality'd himself, but he was able to recover. I know his head was throbbing at the end of that match. Oh God, sliced bread. Fantastic ending nonetheless. Hit that Panama Sunrise or Canadian Destroyer, Britsburg Sunrise, whatever you want to call it. Oh, for the 1, 2, 3. And it was a really great match, man. I was not expecting him to be able to pick up Priest like that. Gotta give Priest all the flowers in the world for being able to make Bad Bunny look like $1 million. It was fantastic. And in my opinion, that match should have been the main event. Without even going further, we had, prior to the ending of the match, we had the Judgment Day coming out, getting involved. We had the LWO coming out. First Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio gets beaten down. Carlito's music hits. Yo! Boy's coming down the ring! Look at him doing a little spin right there. Run into the ring, yeah! I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. Starts, does a quick spin to appreciate the pop. Starts getting beat up by Dom for a second. Rey recovers. Hits him a little Hurricanrana. Gets him in position for the 619. Hits the 619. Dom is staggered. Carlito spits in his face with the apple. Dom gets rolled out of the ring with Finn. Savio Vega comes out. Starts hitting those chops to the head of Finn and Dom. Dude, it was such an amazing, just overall chaotic match like that. And it was booked so well. To the point where, again, the ending was fantastic. I couldn't have asked for a better match. And again, I stand by that. I think it should have been the main event. Next, we had the 3-on-3 tag match. And while this match was good, the Usos always have great matches. They start off a little slow, and then it picks up, right? Typical. Super kick parties, yeah? Solo and Jay were the real MVPs of this match because their story is what kept me interested in the match. Because truth be told, I really didn't care for the remainder of the card after I saw that street fight. Seeing Jay hit Solo on the chest, Solo took that personally, comes in the match. Then Jay tags himself back in after Solo forcefully tags himself in. They have a little stare down in the ring. At one point, Solo was about to hit the Samoan Spike on Jay. Jay says to him, "You really gonna do that to me? Hit your own brother? I'm your brother, man. I'm your brother." The ending of the match was also really interesting because Solo tagged in, was able to save his brothers from getting defeated, hit the Samoan Spike for the 1, 2, 3. But while Jimmy was in the middle of them, Solo was staring heavily at Jay. And Jay kind of like being guarded by the fact that he knows something is coming with Solo and Roman Reigns and Heyman. And Jay's known about this for weeks. Jimmy being completely oblivious and living life, having a good time, being happy, just having a fun time with his family is so beautiful because it's going to suck when he also gets dropped. And that's going to be really heartwarming for Jimmy because Jay knows what's coming and he's only there to protect his brother. But his brother is too naive and too innocent to see what's coming. Or at least that's how I'm looking at it. And then of course we had the main event with Cody Rhodes. The funniest thing in this entire match was Cody Rhodes doing the freaking Santino Marella walk. I'll put the clip up on the screen. Brock Lesnar busted his head open the real way. He didn't blade. John Moxley. And Cody Rhodes got caught in the Kimura lock, resulting in a quick counter. Where Cody got the pin, 1, 2, 3, and scurried on out of the ring. Now, a lot of people were upset with this. They were like, "Oh, well, why? Why did he, do the cowardly babyface thing and run away? Like, what is happening?" I see both sides of it. I think it was a thing where he survived Brock Lesnar and he still won, like he said he would. But him also jumping Brock Lesnar at the beginning of the match kind of told a different story to the ending, where it seemed like he was going to fight him all the way out and just really get in there and fight for real, The ending was a bit weird. to me. I'm not gonna lie. If you saw my TikTok, which if you haven't, go check it out. I went to go grab my chicken. His name is Cody because of the Cody chicken that was thrown in the WrestleMania. So one of my followers got me this, one of my supporters, and I decided to name him Cody. So I went to go grab this for a split second, and as I was turning, just like that, match was over. 1, 2, 3. He pinned him, and I was like, what? How do you do that? Like, how do you, like, okay, I get it. You know, it was Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is still a draw. He's one of the GOATs, right? The man even got a standing ovation after the match. It was one of those things where now I'd imagine Cody being in the tournament, he's going to get taken out by Brock Lesnar, which will in turn maybe leave room for someone else coming in, which brings me to my next point. LA Knight is not in the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. Huh? Why don't they have someone, maybe, you know, Brock specifically, jump Cody Rhodes and LA Knight take his spot? I don't know. I know a lot of people were pretty angry that SmackDown Superstars are being featured, but to be honest, I'm actually happy about it. It creates that sense of urgency and acceptance. It's like, okay, well, let's say a SmackDown Superstar does win the title. They go to Raw automatically. It doesn't matter. So, and I like the people that they picked from both sides. I know some people were confused about Austin Theory. I think they should have added Gunther as well. Maybe made it 14-man, right? Throw LA Knight in there and Gunther. Even Stevens. I mean, they don't even have Solo in the tournament. They don't have Chaos, you know, or Sammy or one of the, you know, yeah, there's a few people missing, but ultimately I think the people they picked were great. I'm very interested to see Edge and hopefully AJ Styles run it back. I would love to see AJ get to the finals. I think that would be pretty sweet. Maybe Seth and Finn or something like that. If he may, you know, AJ makes it to the semifinals instead. I don't know, man, but I enjoyed the pay-per-view, but this is how I would have ordered the matches. I would have done Seth Rollins and Omos opening first. I would have done the Raw Championship match afterwards. Would have followed up with the United States Triple Threat. Would have did the SmackDown Women's Championship. Then I would have done the 3-on-3 tag match, followed by Cody Rhodes and Brock, followed by the San Juan Street Fight, since it was advertised as a double main event. And that's how I would have ordered it. Let me know how you guys would have ordered it. Do you even want the San Juan Street Fight to be last? Would you have wanted it to be last? Who knows? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching, man. Hope you have a fantastic day. Peace. Oh, let me know if I should do more of these reviews.